I'm Lorna, and I lost my best friend Lauren to meningitis in 2016.
I'm Di Spalding, and I've been affected by meningitis because 6 years ago, on the 23rd of December 2014, my husband died very suddenly of MW.
My name's Dawn, and
I'm David.
And we lost our daughter Lindsay to meningitis in 2017 on Mother's Day.
And Lindsay was 31 years old.
I definitely think I went through phases, and I know it sounds so cliche, but being upset, then being angry, being regretful, just a lot of feelings in a short space of time that have since then continued in a weird way.
In terms of the stages of grief, I can level with the anger. I know I've experienced it before with Dad when he died, more recently with Mum, but I know it's there. I know it's there with Lynn's, but I'm not sure who I was angry at and why. It just comes over that you're angry, yeah. The other stages, I mean, you cover off things like denial. I think you're constantly in denial of a death, particularly of your daughter, because it's unexpected. Acceptance, I'm never going to accept that, and that is supposed to be one of the stages of grief. Well, there's no closure on losing a child before yourself.
I know they say there are stages of grief, and I don't think you go through stages in a linear pattern. It comes and goes.
One of the things is I didn't feel angry. I just couldn't believe it, because one time she was there and then she wasn't. There was nothing to say, this is why. Meningitis isn't that kind, I've now learned.
What grief did to me was made me completely numb. I felt completely numb for a year, and I think that was probably the shock of it. I was unprepared, my life changed dramatically.
I cried an awful lot, and I still cry an awful lot.
And I remember people coming round and just having that out-of-body experience that it wasn't really me. Couldn't believe this was happening. And I remember, but also being very aware that, I had to look after the boys. And suddenly I felt scared about that, because John was always, I mean, we both worked and everything, but he was very supportive and, and I felt safe with him. And suddenly my safety net had gone. And I was just numb.
I wouldn't say I coped well. I turned to things like smoking and other things that I shouldn't have as a coping mechanism. Obviously, at the time, I just wanted to shut everything out because it was easier to ignore it than to have to deal with it.
But we both had a moment where it didn't matter. Did it?
What do you mean, life didn't matter?
Yeah, life didn't matter.
Yeah. So for me, I can remember scenarios. If there was a bomber, I would just go and grab hold of that bomber and put him to the ground, and I'd take the blast, because that's how I felt. There was nothing for me, and that would protect others. But in the same vein, if I wasn't here, then the rest of my family would suffer the grief.
I very much could have taken myself to bed, never got up again, but I didn't. I went back, I was still working, and I went back to work. I think because he died on the 23rd, so I went back on the 2nd of January, and I continued working because it gave me a reason to get up and get out of bed.
I was extremely low. A big part of my problem, which I only actually really faced in this last year, was that I felt so angry at the fact that that she was a good person. She, other than like silly little arguments at school, which don't count as anything, she never put a foot wrong. She was the most kind-hearted and loving person. And I know you want to make yourself sound good, but sometimes there's things that I've done that I just think like, why did I do that? And it made me think like it should have been me. And it was a really dark time where I just constantly thought like, why her? Why was it not me out of the two of us?
He will say he doesn't care anymore. He has no feelings anymore. And I've tried to say, but you love me, yeah. You love the boys, you love Davina, you love Leanne, their feelings, but he still won't have it. He is getting there now, and he perhaps still won't say it, but he is getting there.
The next year, I think I felt more, and I would say the second year was the hardest, where I really felt the pain, because I just survived the first year.
Even though it's 5 years this year, it still catches up with me every day. Sometimes it feels like it happened yesterday, and sometimes I sit there and I'm like, wow, it's 5 years that this has gone by.
It never goes away, and it's as painful today as it was then. You just get better at dealing with it, and you have to get on and live, and that's what I've learned. It's because I've learned that your life can be changed in a second, so don't waste it.